Hey there, my fellow author. I'm Sarah Elizabeth Sawyer, an old soul kind of writer living my dream as a full-time author and authorpreneur. But I didn't start out living a confident, creative lifestyle. I struggled with the fears and the mental and emotional barriers that so often plague writers at all stages of their author career. But the truth is that with the right knowledge, tools, and training, you can overcome those barriers. I'm here to teach you how I've developed a lifestyle that's allowed me to publish 19 books and counting. Each week, as you tune into the Confident Fiction Author podcast, you'll get clarity on the steps you need to take to advance your writing career. Whether it's developing your ideal writing routine, tackling new skills like dictating your fiction, or overcoming the obstacles life throws your way, this podcast will help you live a more confident, creative lifestyle. Let's get started. Hey there, my friend, and welcome to this episode of the Confident Fiction Author podcast. I'm your host, Sarah Elizabeth Sawyer, and it's the holidays. I don't know about you, but I love Thanksgiving. I love Christmas all the way through New Year's. Those are my holidays. I love fall time, and then I love getting into all of the twinkling lights, and it's just, I love it. It's like the song says, it's the most wonderful time of the year. For most of us, most of the time, maybe you're not feeling that. If you're not, I get it. I know this is a rushed time. We are trying to do all the things that society says we're supposed to be doing around this time of year, all of the gift giving and the parties and all the things, all good things, all wonderful things, but it can be really overwhelming and even stressful. And I know some friends who are just like, we don't do Christmas anymore. We don't do the holidays because it's too much. And I think that's sad. I am always about balancing things out and just really doing things, doing it the way you want to do it in terms of holidays and stuff. Like, it doesn't have to be this rush of gift giving and all. If that's your thing, I totally understand that. When I was growing up, we didn't do gifts. We didn't do big exchanges. We did a little bit on Christmas morning, but my parents were very much about, let's make memories. Let's take this time to actually slow down instead of speeding toward the end of the year. It was more about, let's slow down. Let's enjoy this time together. And it's really a break for us. It's a break at the end of the year to just take a deep breath and enjoy one another. So that's what I want to talk about. Like, in this holiday season, let's talk about something we forget as authors, and that is just giving ourselves permission to pause. And that's something with authors, especially if you have books lined up for publication, you've got deadlines to meet. Maybe you are careening toward that New Year's Eve rather than looking at this as an opportunity to pause. So let me just talk a bit, though, about if you feel like this is a time you should be writing, like, hey, I've got time off and things are supposed to be slowing down, so I need to be more productive. I need to be writing. And so if you've ever felt guilty about not writing during the holidays because you are enjoying them or you are in that press of gift giving and all, then this episode is for you. This is your opportunity to give yourself permission to pause and just enjoy a holiday break here in this season. So let's get into it. If you take away nothing else from this episode but this, I hope you will remember that rest fuels creativity. So I did a whole podcast episode on this. It was podcast episode number 35, Why Doing Nothing is Productive for Your Fiction Writing. And it sounds really counterintuitive. It sounds like if I'm not doing anything, nothing is getting done. So how is that being productive? If you missed that episode, go back and listen to it. I have some really good points in there about how just doing nothing and how to refill your creative well, all of those things, and how it actually makes you more productive as a fiction writer. And that's something that I view December as. It is really my rest for the year. It's not even, just about the Christmas holidays and all of the things going on, it is really my time to fully rest myself, rest my body, rest my brain. Rest comes in the form of play and enjoying extra socializing, games, all of those things. So rest can look like multiple things, and I cover more of that in that episode. But just know that rest is going to fuel your creativity in the new year. So it is totally okay to give yourself permission to just rest. Know that is a part of the writing process. And it's just like I said, holidays are naturally busy. Even if you're not big into celebrating the holidays and Christmas and all, it is just that sense of there is more going on in life than normal. And it's okay to step back from your writing. If you're a high production author, like you write 5,000, 10,000 words a day, and you want to keep that rolling through December, I'm actually going to be covering that in the next episode on how you can keep writing through the holidays if you're wanting to. But this is just for those of us, I know this is me, where I want to just step back. I want to step back. Not that I'm going to totally stop writing the entire month of December, but it is that time of slowing down my productivity so that I can give myself that intentional rest. And that's the biggest point right here is intentional rest versus unintentional guilt. What I find so often is we fight ourselves. We're already tired. We're already busy. We've got all of these holiday things going on. And because we mentally are not giving ourselves permission to pause, you may reach that point of having guilt where you're like, your fiction writing is just following you around everywhere. It's following you to your parties, to your gift shopping, all through the kitchen as you're cooking and baking. Like that guilt, your fiction writing is just following you everywhere, and it's making you feel guilty because you haven't done it. And you're like, I'll do it tonight. I'll do it first thing in the morning. I'll do it. I will. I promise I'll do it. And then you don't, because all of these wonderful things are happening and just filling up your life. And so that in itself is causing stress. And you're not only not doing your fiction writing, you're also not getting to fully enjoy the things that you are doing because you have that unintentional guilt over not writing. When instead you decide to take intentional rest, like you are giving yourself permission to just step back, you don't have it following you around. You are going into all of your activities, all of your fun without that hanging over you almost like a cloud saying, you need to do this, you need to do this. You've already let it go. You've given yourself permission to only write 3 days a week in December when you normally write 5, or just 1 day a week, or not at all. There may be you're looking at, you have Christmas vacation coming up, or the kids are going to be out of school for 2 or 3 weeks, and it's going to be chaos and fun and all the good things. And you just go ahead and give yourself permission before you even get there that you are going to take a pause from writing fiction, or maybe dial it down. Instead of an hour or 2 hours of writing, you're just going to do 5 minutes of fiction, which I talk about in podcast episode number 10, my 5-minute fiction hack, if you want to go listen to that. So if you are wanting to keep going with productivity, maybe it's just 5 minutes a day instead of your normal writing session. So when you choose intentional rest, you really get to avoid that unintentional guilt. And that does lead me into talking about guilt. You may be feeling that you should be writing, like you are an author. They say write every day, or you're not a real writer, all those things. And if that is how you feel, know that you are not alone. I have felt that has followed me through so much of my writing career, and I'm so grateful I was finally able to let go of you have to write every day. Do I want to write every day? Do I want to write through the holidays? Do I want to write when I'm sick and crises are going on and all of these things? Yes, I do want to keep writing because I enjoy it. I am a fiction author. That is what I love to do. But I have finally been able to let go of that feeling that I should be writing when I'm in a different season of life. And the holidays is a different season. Like it is literally a season. And It is totally fine to give yourself permission to not be writing in this season because, again, rest is a part of the writing process. So although you are not actually getting words on the page, the fact that you are resting and you're rejuvenating your body, mind, and spirit, that is ultimately a part of the writing process. Now, if you decide to do this, if you decide to give yourself permission to pause during this holiday season, I have some practical tips for you to do that. I want you to schedule your break like an appointment. That means that you pick a date on the calendar. Maybe it's December 15th, December 20th, December 1st, whatever that intentional time off is, I want you to put it on your calendar. And it could be for 1 week. It could be for the entire month of December. It could be just throughout the month. So maybe you have where you're writing on Monday, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays, and then you mark on your calendar that you are breaking from writing. You can put no writing or off time, permission to pause, like whatever it is that reminds you that, oh, right, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I am not writing. I am enjoying this season. I'm intentionally taking this time off. And then also on your calendar, set a return to writing date so that you know when you're coming back. And this is really important. I talk about this in episode 36, Writing Seasons, How to Balance the Page and the Pile Up. If you haven't listened to that, go check it out, because I talk about how important it is to set that return to writing date. And that alleviates the question and any guilt you have about taking this time off and just hitting pause on your writing. It may be that you put January 5th, like that's when you're going to come back into your normal writing schedule. You're unpausing and you're getting back into it. It could be the day after Christmas, and you use that week between Christmas and New Year's to kind of revamp your writing habits and get back into your story without pressure of just going full into it. Like you can have a re-entry period. That's really good to do. Just life in general, as the holidays are wrapping up, that you just allow yourself that re-entry and don't expect to just go right back into your normal routine and schedule right after the holidays. The other thing you can do is leave yourself a fun writing prompt for the new year. And it may be that you're going to start on a new story that you're excited about, or you just grab a prompt that looks really fun, drop it in your writing software so that when you open it up after you have returned to your writing, you're like, oh yeah, this is that prompt I was really wanting to do. That sounds so fun. I get to start right into that. So give yourself a little starting fuel to get into your writing after that intentional time off or that pause that you took during the holidays. All right, my friend, wrapping it up here, I just want to encourage you to give yourself the gift of rest this season. Whether you're taking off the entire month of December or from before Thanksgiving till after New Year's, or if you're just going to give yourself a morning break and it's just this block of time in the morning, you are just going to rest and read and wrap gifts. Just give yourself that gift of rest this season. Now, in the next episode, I will be sharing tips for those of you who do want to keep writing throughout the holidays and how you can keep it low stress during this season. I will see you in that episode. Until then, my friend, take care.